Examining skits. I and many of my colleagues often ask our students to write dialogues and to perform these skits in class. After 50 years of second language acquisition research, 20 years of the national standards for language learning, and almost a decade of the can-do statements, it's time to re-examine this practice. Although skits can be humorous, they're problematic on deeper examination. The logistics of managing the skits is riddled with problems on the ground. Students write and practice the skit only to have a key member absent on the performance day. This throws my timing and lesson plans out the window. And working off a script actually erodes the confidence of the students. It sets them up for failure. They think they can only use French when they have a script in the hand and they know every word. And let's be honest, it isn't Shakespeare that deserves to be memorized. I've observed students in classes where they do one skit per unit, but be completely unable to engage in spontaneous conversation. Interpersonal speaking is a skill that all of us use most frequently and intensely, not presentational speaking or writing. But a skit is actually presentation speaking and writing, not interpersonal speaking. The future of most students does not hold script writing in Spanish as a profession. Low frequency task, so we should dedicate little time to it in the classroom. Students need to spend time engaging in spontaneous speaking to sharpen and shorten the access time it takes to get the language out of the brain after it's acquired. Spontaneity is key. I can't allow activities that don't advance language acquisition to steal away time from copious amounts of interactive comprehension and spontaneous communication. And skits are limited in context because the native speakers don't know your script. As soon as a Chinese speaker deviates from the script, the students become lost. Mark Twain experienced this in France. In Paris, they simply opened their eyes and stared when we spoke to them in French. We never did succeed in making those idiots understand their own language. As students read their script, it frequently becomes apparent that they're reciting something that they don't understand and probably Google translated. When left to their own devices, novice and intermediate learners will try to say things that are well outside of the language that they have acquired. Because it's real-time nature, students stay closer to the language they have acquired in spontaneous interpersonal speaking. Students, even our immersion students, score lowest on interpersonal speaking. Spontaneous speaking is a much harder task than reading a script. It requires students to produce language in real time and react in situations that can be unpredictable. Presentational speaking is just ideas and organization. The most powerful and effective speakers transcend mere grammatical accuracy. Think of Martin Luther King Jr., Maya Angelou, David Sedaris, or Obama. Their effectiveness lies in ideas, timing, voice control, and inspiration. We also need to think about culturally responsive teaching. Rigor in our context means proficiency. Students need to be able to show up as their authentic selves rather than play a role. But what now? Communicative tasks put the students' culture, real and relevant communication in the center of instruction. You won't be bored with real expression, interpretation, and negotiation of meaning when it happens in your class. This is often more humorous than a skit due to its spontaneity. Look for future vlogs and sample tasks. In the meantime, you can look at the 2 books cited below. One's long, one's short. And they will help guide you to explore in your classroom.